Hey guys, so Star Wars Celebration 2022. If you remember way back in the day, 2 years ago, we had the investor call where there was 10 Star Wars new properties, multiple new Star Wars movies, Taika Waititi, Ryan Johnson, fucking, what else? There was a fucking D.B. Weiss. None of that shit happened.
Rogue Squadron's canceled.
A lot of that shit got canceled. To be fair, some things did come through and were a success. So if we want to look at what's going on here, so I don't know about Children in the Bone. So Visions came out. It was good. Mandalorian Season 3, rough. Lando, I think this one's probably on hold or canceled. A droid story we don't know about. Rogue Squadron canceled. I guess too many conflicts with
Patty
Jenkins. Ahsoka was just announced, so that one's still. The whole fucking kerfuffle with Gina Carano pretty much canceled. Rangers of the New Republic, huge mistake on Disney's part. Willow came out. It sucked, and nobody watched it.
It's canceled now.
It's canceled. The Bad Batch Season 2, I actually hear, is maybe better written than The Mandalorian Season 3. So we might have to go and watch Bad Batch Season 2. Though it has been announced Bad Batch Season 3 is coming. Star Wars Andor, a success. May not be the biggest watched one, but writing is really, really well. And we're getting a Season 2 of that. Obi-Wan Kenobi, yeah, that one was watched a lot because of the fanfare behind it. Unfortunately, it was Garbo, mainly due to the writing, and so that was a... And then the Acolyte, which is getting a new logo this time around, is still exciting to me. So, here is what Grucci recreated, this sort of a timeline for the Star Wars canon. So what they're doing is they're trying to create a bit, a set-in-stone timeline of all these events, and now we can kind of put things into their individual cubby holes, right? Instead of trying to do this thing where it's like we're going to do a film and we're going to do 3 new films, trilogy this, trilogy that, always this and that, tacking onto that stuff, it's very risky. I think what they're doing is they're going to do single films at a time, see which ones are a success, and build upon that. Now, how do you do multiple films if they're not a part of a trilogy? Well, you set your timeline and you do a few films throughout the timeline and see where fans are at. So this is what they've set up. So you've got an announcement of 3 new films. And let me move this up real quick. So I guess the first big one that we need to talk about is Rey. Rey is back. Hey, everybody loves Rey, right? She's the most best flawless character of all time.
They ruined her character.
Rey.
Last we left off, they destroyed her character.
Rey Rey Skywalker. Are you guys excited about this new film?
No.
This is Charmin Obaid Chinoy. Let's look her up. But basically, this film is going to be Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order. Pakistani-Canadian journalist, activist, and filmmaker, known for her works that highlight inequality for women. Oh, okay, it's going to be one of those. Miss Marvel, she did 2 episodes of Miss Marvel. And yeah, and that's about it. Well, she did a few other, like, documentaries. She's known for documentaries about the inequality for women. Oh boy, this is gonna piss off a corner of the fucking YouTube hemisphere. I don't know. Rey was not a very good Here's my opinion on all that. So I loved Rey in Force Awakens. That's when everything was kind of fresh, new. There was an excitement. There was like, we can go in any direction. We're sort of remaking A New Hope, but with new characters, and then we go from there. And where we went from there was fucking
Trash.
awful. It was trash. The Last Jedi dropped the ball hard. The Last Sky, what was
The Rise
the
of
Rise of Skywalker dropped it even harder, and it just resulted in garbage. Plot lines just completely abandoned Finn. So my take on the Rey thing is, you know, is it going to be an activist film where it's just like all men are stupid and women are fucking amazing, and you know, are they going to do that angle, or are they going to treat it where it's like, nah, it has nothing to do with that. We're just focusing on a great Jedi Master now, Rey, who is teaching a new order. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a diverse cast. If that pisses people off, fuck you. Who cares? We're moving on. Diversity is good. So we have all these new Jedi. I think they mentioned that there's going to be like a Chewbacca Jedi and
I was down for that.
different alien Jedis in this new order. Can this be interesting? Number one, I will not support this project, and I will not watch it if Finn is not a part of it. That's basically it. You fucked up Finn. You done fucked it up. You teased that he was maybe a Jedi, and then you completely turned Finn into a fucking idiot, like fucking cuck. Rey! It was this whole fucking character, and John Boyega deserved way more than that. You teased at a maybe beloved plot line and did nothing with it. So fuck you for that, Disney. You need to fix that. So unless this Rey film is also buoyed with returning characters and one of them being Finn, I'm out. I just don't think Rey is that interesting. Are you going to all of a sudden give her a character arc now? You know, a satisfying one? That's how I feel about it. Alex, what do you think about the new Rey film?
I mean, they're just going to take the story that someone probably wrote the story for Luke 15 years ago, where it's like, what happens after the Empire is down? We've got a Jedi Master trying to rebuild the temple, train an entire new generation, and it was probably written. And they're just going to be like, cross out every instance of Luke and put Rey in there. And then they even gave her his last name at the end of the movie, so it completely fits in there. So she'll be making a new order, and it's going to come down to the writing. I don't necessarily need Finn there. I don't even think John Boyega would come back. I know
he was pretty pissed.
He was very, very upset.
Now, that was initially, and as years gone along, he's been a slightly bit more receptive. But John asked for money. Get your money. Make sure that you fucking dig him a little bit. And make sure that you have some input. Be like, I'm not coming back unless I'm a Jedi. I know you don't like it when actors have input.
Actors should not, right?
Yeah, so, well, no. I mean, if you're just going to treat this guy like shit and he has no agency and he can't do shit and you just drop him, that's what an actor would say. No, I'm not going to let you ignore me like you ignored me during the trilogy. But,
Yeah. Well,
Joe?
I liked Rey when she was nobody, but now they really royally fucked it up, and I don't see
as Palpatine's daughter or granddaughter.
They've written themselves in the corner. We're like, what are they gonna do now to fix this? And then we're gonna have Kylo Ren.
Well, she's already badass, right? She can already levitate 15,000 boulders, and she could fly. She forgot how to fly. Remember, they fly now, but then she went into the sand and couldn't fly. Even though in the beginning of the film they showed her, levitating. She could have lifted everybody up out of the sand.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not excited for this.
Look, the Disney sequels, you fucked it up.
Yeah.
And how is this going to fix it? There's no villain. Think about this. Are we going to get another decrepit clone of fucking Snoke? Is there going to be a second Snoke clone that we didn't see off screen? How exciting will that be?
No, there's going to be a Wookiee child that has a bad dream, and she's going to interpret it as he's a homicidal maniac, and then she's going to try to kill him, and then
him down in his sleep.
Yeah, and so they're going to do something like that. Or the other thing is, every single fucking Jedi survived Order 66. Every one of them. They only killed 4 Jedi in Order 66. And so the problem with the Star Wars universe is it used to be special when there was only a few of these space wizards left, and now we have an infinite amount of space wizards, both probably on the good and the evil side. So someone from, somehow the Sith have returned because there's an ancient Sith thing that then he pulled them through time and space, and that's what's going to end up happening. I really hope they don't do the let's walk through the portals like the Rebels thing, and
we should have talked about that in the fucking Ahsoka trailer.
Fuck that shit.
We forgot. the world beyond worlds could potentially fuck everything up in Ahsoka. But I don't think World Beyond Worlds is going to be with Rey. But who knows? Maybe it would be. Time travel in Star Wars, leave it out.
You don't think?
Yes.
What about Darth Maul coming back? It's like
No,
how do we have
my God.
Darth Maul comes back?
I would
and
like that, but not
somehow
in
Darth
this.
Maul has
This guy's a huge
returned.
Not
Darth
in
Maul
this
fan.
though. Not in this.
He's a
I don't
huge
want it
Darth
in
Maul
this.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to have a really interesting villain. Would the Sith themselves come? Would I be okay with the Sith themselves? Yes, because I like Jedi and I like Sith. But maybe it is time for a new threat, because eventually I do want an old Republic film. So now that we've talked a little bit about the Rey thing, the Rey announcement, I needed to structure this video better, which is this is a flow of thought. So here are your 3 films. One film is going to go right here, the New Jedi Order. That's the Rey film. The other film is going to go right here, the New Republic. And this is Dave Filoni, the second project that was announced, where he's going to culminate all of the TV shows plot lines into a massive movie and apparently resolve it or culminate it. And that sounds like a resolution to me. And we talked a little bit about this in the Ahsoka trailer. How's that going to be? Do I need to watch multiple seasons of different shows to even understand the movie going into it? Or are there going to be this huge opening previously on section in a movie? What? It's going to take the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, the Skeleton Crew, Ahsoka, and bring them all in. So what I think it'll be is Thrawn. The conclusion to Thrawn, or defeating Thrawn, everybody fighting on the big screen with big budget. So that's Dave Filoni's project. Now, because Dave Filoni is in charge, I have more excitement for that one, other than the concern of, is it going to make sense to standard moviegoers? If they didn't watch all of Disney Plus. But I have more excitement for that one than I do the Rey film. So you got one in the New Order, Rey. You got one in the New Republic, Dave Filoni. And then one has been announced for the Old Republic. No. One has been announced for the Old Republic. I'm going to call it the Ancient Republic, because they're going back, not Old Republic timeline, but 25,000 years before where we are now, with the very first Jedi. I guess his name was Ahch-To. You see that little silhouette in The Last Jedi where Luke is like in his fucking temple, and it looks like a Snoke figure. I guess they're going to do something on that. The first Jedi with their ancient. There's no lightsabers. They didn't have that technology there. Then they eventually got proto-sabers that were attached with, lines and stuff. So
proton packs.
It's going to be ancient. It's going to be, I don't know, caveman, I guess. And that movie is right here, and it's called Dawn of the Jedi. Now, there has been some Dawn of the Jedi comic book series, whether they're going to use those storylines where there's like these floating temples, 8 floating temples, and they populate all across the galaxy with these powerful people called the Jedi, D-A-I, that eventually get called the Jedi. The Jedi, that's just fucking stupid. I don't know how they're going to do it. But the good news here is that this film is being helmed by James Mangold, right? Mm-hmm. And this is the guy that did Logan. This is the guy that did Ford vs. Ferrari. He is a talented director, and they've actually wanted to work with him on a Star Wars thing for a while. It kept getting canceled or moved, and so I'm finally happy that they're getting to work with him now. So he has vision. He's a great director. I'm sure it's going to be interesting. But am I that interested in the first Jedi, or where the Force comes from?
I am more interested in that than the Rey.
Okay.
I'm more interested in that and than Filoni, too.
Still, because there's a lot of new ideas to that. So, yeah, because of the talent behind that, I am very excited about Dawn of the Jedi. And it's like this Star Wars celebration has given something for everyone, right? except for kind of me, because what I really want, but I'm actually happy because I'm like, I don't want none of you motherfuckers to touch this until I figure out which one of you is worth touching it. So what I wanted is this. The Old Republic. You know me. I want the Knights of the Old Republic. I want 1,000 Sith. I want 1,000 Jedi. I want a Braveheart fucking battle. I want those CGI trailers that what studio did that? BioWare. Those really cool ones. Revan and just these storylines. But we need to see who is talented enough to handle that, right? So we're going to see the team behind the New Order, or the New Jedi Order, the team behind the New Republic, and the team behind Dawn of the Jedi. Then we touch the Old Republic.
Only then.
Because I think any one of these could fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think people... There's expectations. Anytime you move over towards the center or the right of this chart, there's a lot of expectations that fans have, and you're kind of bound to what Lucas did and what the shitheads that did the sequels did.
Yeah.
And so really far out to the left, and Dawn of the Jedi, like, he can do almost whatever he wants. He can get really crazy with it, and there's not a lot of expectations, and I think that's a much better place for someone who wants to come in and kind of do their own thing. And then it's not going to piss off a bunch of people unless, you know, you're one of the people that read the comics. And again, fuck you, Kathleen Kennedy, for decades saying that we don't have comics or books and an extended universe to pull from.
Couldn't have been more wrong.
And that's what this stuff is. Like, Thrawn is from the books, and it's like, look, there's like Darth Bane. We can get in it all. There's so many cool things that are written that people love that you can pull from. And HBO is just showing that as long as you are sticking close to the source material that people love, it'll be successful. And so, I mean,
I have no idea how Kathleen Kennedy still has a job. Now, I want to talk about this. Look, this is every canceled Star Wars project that's never made, and almost all of these is responsible. Kathleen Kennedy is responsible. So you have Solo was originally supposed to be these first two guys. Their ideas were too crazy. She fired them. Yeah. Star Wars movie done by Zack Snyder fell apart. Star Wars 1313, that project fell apart under LucasArts. Boba Fett movie done by Josh Trank. Well, we saw what he did with motherfucking Fantastic Four, so maybe that's a good thing. Star Wars Detours, I've heard about it, but I never really, knew anything about that one. Rian Johnson trilogy. I'm probably in the minority thinking that Ryan, if he got his own trilogy, I think that it would have been better than what he did with The Last Jedi. But it's hard for me to give him something when he fucked up so bad with what I love. But I think that if he was completely unbeholden to any of those characters, we go far in the future, past Rey or whatever, and he's given something that, and that could have been interesting. But I'm thinking this is no longer happening. No. When you have these 3 new movies announced, it's gone. Where are all the projects that were fucking announced? Patty Jenkins, and we're talking about that now. Rangers of the New Republic because of fucking Cara Dune and all that shit, so they completely changed it. I think they're pushing that one Rebel pilot more as what Cara's role might have been in The Mandalorian. That Rebel pilot, the older guy, is that dude. Star Wars, so The Rise of Skywalker by Colin Trevorrow. I wish we would have got his vision instead of bringing J.J. Abrams back and them having to rush it and just somehow Palpatine returned and the dumbest fucking shit, an entire fleet showing up. I fucking hate it. The Force Awakens, written by Michael Arndt. That one's fine because I actually did like The Force Awakens. It was a good setup, a good repeat, and fresh. It's just the next films fucked it all up. An Obi-Wan Kenobi film trilogy, well, we know what that resulted in. We got a TV series instead, and that was not very good, Kathleen. And then also the David Benioff and D.B. Weiss Star Wars film. Initially, I was excited for that because it was supposed to it was rumored that it was going to be the Old Republic. But now that we know what went down with Game of Thrones Season 8 and 6 and 7, maybe that's a good thing, right? But maybe they rushed the end of that so they can get to this, and they had the Rogue pulled out from under them. So I don't know. And then Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron. I've always wanted a Rogue Squadron. I think it would work really well. It's like X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter, the movie, where you have pilots. This is their home, and you have to defend your home and go off. Could be real interesting. A J.D. Dillard movie was canceled. He was basically really attached to J.J. Abrams, and they liked him so much they were going to give him his own. Never happened. Of course, Gareth Edwards was supposed to do the Rogue One. That just never happened. It switched. It did happen, but then they kind of changed some stuff up. And then Underworld, that we know that turned into essentially, this was, I think it was George Lucas wrote a bunch of scripts and he was going to go, but it was too expensive to film at the time. Yeah. And Kathleen tried to revive it, but to no avail. But we're starting to get that anyway with Boba Fett and Mandalorian and stuff like that. And then there was actually a Boba Fett movie by James Mangold. So that's where he was. So, like, he was involved. You know, they were thinking about giving the Logan guy Boba Fett, and people were on board with that. Now he's got his own, and he can be super creative in Dawn of the Jedi.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily have to use the comic storyline, Dawn of the Jedi, which had these, two races fighting each other, and then they populated all throughout the galaxy. It's just kind of boring. The characters, not, in my opinion, not that great. But I think with James Mangold, they could make it great. So those are the 3 Star Wars projects, yes? Mm-hmm. Dawn of the Jedi, new movie announced, and The New Republic, Dave Filoni's film, and then Rey's film. Now,
Jedi Order.
I think somebody asked Kathleen, I have it written here, she said that it would take 6 or 7 years to actually get Dave Filoni's new film. Mm-hmm. I'm like, damn, that's a little longer than I thought. So if we're trying to do a timeline here, I'm thinking maybe 2025 we'll see Rey Skywalker's movie. And if Finn isn't in it, fuck off. If you guys try to pretend that Finn went off to his home. He floated away to his people.
Rose, and they lived happily ever after.
Oh my God, Joe! I swear to God. No, if Finn is in that part of it, and you're gonna try to ignore him, I'm not fucking watching it. Pay John Boyega whatever he wants. And they're gonna be like, you know what? John wanted too much, so we're gonna CGI him. We've got his likeness, so we're gonna he's gonna be a CGI character with a different voice. Hey guys, I'm Finn. So what the fuck? No. Anyways, so 2025, Rey Skywalker, and then maybe James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi, 2027, and then 2029, 2028, 2029 would be the Mandalorian finale movie to wrap that whole series up. And that would basically that movie would wrap up the New Republic era. And then we would go into the First Order. We know that that's shit. So this is fucking shit. This is probably going to be shit. This is fucking shit because everybody's a dumbass. I mean, obviously, Mandalorian and Ahsoka could be the bright spot here. Age of Rebellion is fucking badass. Reign of the Empire, yeah. Fall of the Jedi, fine. We need a little bit more here. Now, one final thing that we didn't get to talk about, and we'll just talk about it here, is Acolyte. They haven't released the trailer. They released it to the fans only, and people said it looks good. It's got the lead guy from the Netflix that was very famous. What was
Squid Game?
Squid Game. So it's got that guy. It's obviously it's got some martial arts, they were saying, some really good lightsaber battles, and that is set in the High Republic. Now, the High Republic, I don't really care about that comic storyline. Phase 1, I think they're in Phase 2. They said that the Acolyte is going to be in like the end of the High Republic, right when like Sith are starting to reemerge. So that is interesting. Like, yes, finally. So that could be good. The Acolyte is going to be right here in the High Republic. And then we know the Old Republic is a fucking gold mine. And I'm actually happy this time that it's like, nobody touch this until we can make sure that it's good. Until we know we have the talent necessary to give it. So, yeah. And that's where we're at.
looking pretty good. Some hopeful stuff.
Yeah.
So
Ron
3
is-
film. I mean, I guess Taika Waititi's
Yeah, that's gone.
that's gone. And what
Haven't
else?
heard anything about that.
Oh, did you know there was a
Anymore.
Kevin Feige one?
Yeah.
That one's gone too. Kathleen Kennedy, what a fucking disaster. But I'll tell you what, the fact that this is restructured into eras and they're kind of focusing on eras, we're going to give you a bit of this era, a bit of this, and a bit of this, and see which one you like and expand on those. And we're saving the old Republic until we know that we've got, what we need to do with it. That, I think, is a solid plan. Whether that comes from Kathleen or whether that comes from Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau, I don't know, but Kathleen's going to get the credit for it since she's at the top. So, all right, well, that's our opinion on some of what's coming down along the Star Wars pipeline from Disney, revealed at Celebration 2023. Let us know what you think of these 3 upcoming films. I'm thinking, has Star Wars learned from their mistakes?
No.
No,
Who's still at the helm? Why would she learn? She still has her job.
Well, and would she even know that she fucked up? It's like, how can you be so bullheaded and stubborn to not learn from your mistakes? She have to at least learn a little bit, or does she all think it's bigots and racist, that people that hate women, and she doesn't need to listen to any of it? I don't know. It's fascinating to me. So you've got the Rey film, Dave Filoni, I have confidence in, and the James Mangold, who's a great director, I have confidence in, but is the material he's going to choose the right material and be interesting enough? So those 2 projects, lesser on Rey, unless you bring Finn. If you bring Finn in and you make him a Jedi, then you can maybe.
You're setting your hopes up for failure, man.
Joe,
I don't think so.
Could they get away with that film without putting Finn in it?
Yeah, of course.
What are they going to say?
Somehow Adam
They're
Driver
gonna
has
say
returned.
Some stupid.
Oh my God, they're going to try to ship him again. He's going to be a Force ghost. She's going to have a relationship with a Force ghost. Fucking Reylo fans. Anyways, that's our opinion, guys. And tell us yours in the comments down below. And we will see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.